Let's talk PARSIQ.
All right, let's get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Let's Talk PARSIQ Twitter Spaces with CEO Tom Tirman. As per usual, we're running a AMA campaign through Link 3, where participants have the opportunity to receive a free participation NFT and enter into a $50 raffle. So welcome to everyone from the Link 3 community. And of course, welcome to our PR cuties. I'm your host, Casey, for today. I'm head of the community with PARSIQ, and I will be joined by Marcelo from our community team, who will be moderating today's space. Hello, Tom and Marcelo. How are you guys doing today?
Hey everyone, hey Casey, doing well.
Hey everybody, excited for the AMA, excited to be here.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, guys. So just a little bit about what to expect on today's spaces. First, we'll be learning about PARSIQ's roadmap. We just released it alongside Tom's CEO letter at the end of Q1, and then we'll be asking Tom all the community questions that we've collected in the last few days. So if you do want to ask a question today, just head on over to our Discord or Telegram communities, and all the guys are standing by, waiting to collect your questions. So, Tom, I guess it's your time to shine here. Can you walk our listeners through the new roadmap and sort of let everyone know what they can look forward to?
Sure thing. Hey everyone, and thanks for joining. So we just released a couple of weeks ago PARSIQ's new roadmap for 2023. One quarter has already passed, so maybe I'll give a brief overview of what we have done in Q1 of this year. So we have added more chains where you can query data from. For example, Arbitrum was one of the bigger additions. And we have also released a number of key features like the ABI decoder, which allows you to not only get raw fundamental data from the blockchain, but decode that into relevant events. We released the NFT Data Lake, which gives you NFT specific data, everything from NFT ownership data, NFT transfers, up to the metadata and the actual image URLs or the JPEGs themselves. We also at ETH Denver, where we were one of the sponsors, and our CTO Danny was a speaker. We unveiled the first version of our SDK, and why this is an important milestone is because the SDK will allow any third-party developers to build their own data lakes on PARSIQ. So you don't have to wait for us, our team, the PARSIQ team, to build custom data lake that you can use. You can build it yourself if you want to. And we participated in a number of events, including Paris Blockchain Week, and we co-hosted the Binance meetup in Tallinn, Estonia. So to summarize, it's been a busy Q1, and the rest of the year seems to be even more ambitious because in Q2 we will be adding more chains like Optimism because we do believe that a lot of value will be accrued on layer twos like Arbitrum and Optimism. So PARSIQ wants to support data endpoints for all of these chains. We'll be involved in major conferences like Consensus, also an AVEX summit in Barcelona, and some events in Tallinn, Estonia as well. From the product perspective in Q2, we will be releasing the DeFi data lake and also balances data lake. So to clarify, these are use case specific data lakes. For example, the balances data lake gives you all the wallet or smart contract balances that you need easily without you having to go through Tsunami API. So going beyond Q2, we have protocol specific data lakes like the Uniswap version 3 data lake and data lakes for a lot of major protocols, DeFi protocols, and decentralized applications. And I guess one of the more exciting things for this year is the new tokenomics that we are in process of implementing, which will take a lot of time. So the releases will be spread out throughout the whole year. But the main idea is that there will be governance voting infrastructure. Token holders can vote on certain aspects of the PARSIQ network. And of course, a very, very key milestone will be the Data Lake marketplace. So the Data Lake marketplace will allow third-party builders who use our SDK to build dedicated data endpoints and data lakes to publish them on the marketplace and even monetize them if others use them. And to do this, you will need PARSIQ tokens. This will involve a burn mechanism using PRQ as gas and more, which will give the token new utilities, new use cases, and the more activity we see on the SDK, on the marketplace, the more developers are building, the more the token will be used within the platform and within the infrastructure. So this is sort of open source, decentralized PARSIQ direction that we're taking for this part of the product. And with that development of the new tokenomics, the marketplace, there will be a new SDK that will allow for many more features, including running it not only on our side, on the PARSIQ network, but running it wherever you want, and even something similar to validators to validate the accuracy of that data. So decentralized data lakes, to put it simply. So beyond this year, I won't bore you with the roadmap. You can check it out on PARSIQ's Twitter, on the blog. But by 2024, we hope to release not only more capabilities, so that means more blockchains integrated, more data lakes, more features, more functionalities, but also a new product called Atlas. And Atlas is not just a developer specific product like the current offering from PARSIQ, but Atlas is something everyone can use. It's an it's an application layer on top of our data lake APIs where anyone, whether you're enterprise or consumer or analyst or anyone else, can come and explore the activity on these dApps and get relevant real-time and historical information. So deeper insights into these protocols, into NFT collections, into anything you want. And so it's a mix of an analytics dashboard built on top of our APIs and more complex block explorer. On the roadmap, we have kind of ambiguous milestones like strategic client onboardings and enterprise integrations, because we are working with some larger enterprises, both within the Web3 and Web2 spaces. With some of them, we're doing proof of concepts, building things out for them with the hopes that they'll utilize blockchain technology. It's sort of a test run. And with others, it's much more concrete. We are integrating into their infrastructure. So hopefully we can announce these bigger milestones in the next couple of quarters. Yeah, I hope that gave a little bit of color on the whole roadmap and where PARSIQ is headed in terms of both product and direction.
Yeah, thanks very much, Tom. I think, yeah, everyone can see it's absolutely jam-packed. And obviously, we've got a lot of work to do. I can say, from behind the scenes perspective, both from like biz dev and marketing, there's also a lot of really interesting things coming up. And we will be launching our new website very shortly as well. So lots to do, lots to look forward to. So we hope everyone is content with our plan. Yeah, so I guess like one of the things that was interesting this week is we had some news that PARSIQ is going to be taking part in an accelerator hub in Singapore by partnering with Cryptomeria and Skyarc Studios. I hope I'm pronouncing the first one right. I'm not sure. First of all, Tom, can you maybe describe what an accelerator hub is, and then talk about the partners involved and why this might be a good strategic decision for PARSIQ?
Yeah, for sure. So Cryptomeria Capital is a venture fund and a venture studio. We've been working with them for a while, and what they launched with SkyArc is an accelerator, which is pretty much an incubator hub for early stage Web3 startups. And these early stage startups can get all the support they need from that hub. So that means starting from office space, actual desks to work in Singapore, and of course, advice on go-to-market strategy, help with staffing, help with product design, and tap into the networks of all the accelerator partners to get clients and reach product market fit. And so why we joined this initiative, first of all, we are heavily investing in our presence in Asia, and Singapore is a major hub in Asia. Some of our core members are actually from Singapore or living in Singapore. And this way we have a physical hub as well for PARSIQ at the accelerator at SkyArc Studios. And also we will be providing data infrastructure for all of these Web3 startups who join the accelerator. Because for early stage Web3 founders, it's tough to spend all that money and effort on data infrastructure. And with PARSIQ's plug and play, they can get faster to market. So we believe in supporting new founders in the space. And this is one of many such partnerships with incubators, accelerators, where we will be giving free credits, let's say, for usage of PARSIQ's infrastructure to early stage startups so they can be successful, so they can build their products and get them to market faster.
Nice. That sounds good. I think one of the things we're starting to see is governments around the world start to, provide some funding for Web3 blockchain companies to come in because they realize it's a growing industry. So with that in mind, like what are you seeing in terms of blockchain adoption for 2023? Is it sort of time for governments and traditional companies to make their way into Web3?
Yeah, it's already slowly happening. It's not a fast process, but we are already seeing like Web2 giants and government entities experimenting with blockchain, looking into it. So we have obviously CBDCs. I know for a fact that there's a number of blockchain entrepreneurs, including layer ones who want CBDCs to launch on their chains or on their infrastructure. So a lot is going on behind the scenes. We are actually in talks and working with multiple government entities around the world as well for plugging in PARSIQ's data infrastructure. So we will see this trend continue, and I do believe that starting this year and the next 7 years probably we'll see some massive adoption from traditional enterprises, governments, and other large players.
Gotcha. Yeah. Um, that's another thing we're going to be looking forward to. I think one of the things that we saw this week happening in markets was Bitcoin going over 30K, which a lot of people were excited about. So I guess just, I'd be curious to ask you, as we're coming up to May, in investment circles, you often hear sell in May and walk away, which is based on stocks historical underperformance during the period from May to October. But what do you think, Tom? Does the same thing apply for crypto?
It's a good question. I mean, seasonality works until it doesn't. So yeah, who knows? No one really knows. I mean, there's talks of a potential like recession by U.S. government and other governments. Will that if that even happens? Will that drag crypto down with it? Who knows? If you look at the last 2 years, actually, July and August have been pretty bullish for cryptocurrencies and digital assets. But the topic of seasonality is very controversial. I mean, if it, I'm not sure if all these cycles are will repeat in the same way. So I wouldn't. I would just, from a perspective of a market participant, a crypto investor, a trader, whoever, I would just monitor what the markets are doing and not put too much stock in seasons or green months, historically green months, red months, and so on.
Okay, yeah, thanks for sharing your thoughts there. I always enjoy hearing what you have to say about sort of like the micro macro picture. We're going to get into some of the community questions now, because there are a lot of them. So, a couple questions on, I guess, like what it's like to be a CEO in crypto. So, one of our community members has asked, like, when can you expand on what you mean when you're attending high level meetings, and like who are these typically with?
Yeah, so Web3 startups, they have different stages. So if you're an early stage startup, when PARSIQ was an early stage startup, you deal with pretty much everything. You are the CEO, you are the COO, you are the marketing executive, you are the copywriter in part. You are everything really, your product, because that's how it works. While you are kind of finding product market fit and designing the product, getting it to market. Generating exposure for it, pivoting if needed, and so on and so forth. But currently, where PARSIQ is at, it's not an early stage company anymore. It's a growth stage company. We have a relatively large team for a blockchain Web3 industry team, and we've been around for a long while, and we have quite a lot of users and clients. So the stage we are at is where I don't have to do these day to day things. It's just not productive because we have people on our team who do all of these things better than me, and I listen to their advice. And what I have to do is more at a strategic high level. So that means helping with the general direction of the company, of the products, and of course, networking with potential enterprise, larger clients, partners, and investors. That's the main description of what I do at this point in PARSIQ's evolution.
Gotcha. I guess one of the other unique things about Web3 is community, and I guess, like, if you're the CEO of most other companies, you're not having memes created about you. You're not having like stickers, community generated art. So I just want to know, when you see all this art being made with you and your images and stuff, like, how do you feel about it, and do you actually have any personal favorites?
Well, the community generated art, the stickers, the memes, they're all awesome. Did I have a whole collection saved, and there are those about Anatoly, our chief blockchain architect, and a great sticker pack of Danny, our CTO. Some of my memes about me. They're all fire. I don't have a personal favorite, but community has done an awesome bang up job here. They're really, really. I mean, in my mind, they are quite sophisticated, and I love them. So I hope the community will continue making more content like this.
Yeah, it is pretty great. I think, like, and yeah, you're right. The amount of effort that goes into it, is pretty impressive. So yeah, definitely keep it up, community. Okay, so some more questions we have here. Maybe like one more that's related to sort of CEO type question is like, people are just wondering, you did mention, we have a large team for a blockchain company in the growth stage. So people just wondering, has PARSIQ been hiring, firing? Are we stable? What would you say about current staffing levels?
Right now, it's relatively stable. We had a pretty large growth in 21 and 22. We're almost 40 people at PARSIQ, and we we weren't hiring right now. We're keeping it stable because we did have to say goodbye to a couple of people at the end of last year and beginning of this year. But it's not because of headcount or budgeting concerns, but it's more because of the fit within the team. And we've been hiring also a couple of people. So it's all relatively stable. We have the same number of people. It's not likely to change just yet, but I think we will ramp up the hiring in second half of this year if everything goes to plan.
Yeah, I think what I can just say is we did grow, you know, in 21, 22 a lot. Yeah, there's so many new people coming in, and we've got a lot of talented people, and it's great to be part of the team. It's evidence, we were just all in town together, had a great time. So really enjoy being part of the PARSIQ team, and I know like new people are also enjoying it as well. So yeah, great to be at PARSIQ. One of the things that we saw in sort of Q1 was this explosion of AI everywhere, right? And one of the questions from the community is just asking about this, like, do we feel pressured to use AI to stay ahead of our competitors? So how do you see it fitting into sort of blockchain and what we might be doing?
Well, I think in general, so AI is really transformative, and what OpenAI and ChatGPT have done. Obviously, lots of competitors popping up. I think people, businesses, everyone will have to utilize AI at one point or another to stay ahead of the curve and be more productive because otherwise, if you don't, then those who do use AI will just outpace you on whatever they're doing. So that's inevitable. Um, Now, for PARSIQ, we are experimenting with some like AI use cases for things like testing and writing of technical documentation, things like that, to improve processes within the company. So we will be definitely going forward with this one. But another big opportunity here is blockchain data and AI because Parsec has all the blockchain data from the Genesis block of all these chains up until the real-time blocks that are being generated, along with all the events like transfers and logs and calls and everything that's happening within the blockchain. And that's a lot of information because if you think about it, if more settlement, finance, remittance comes to the blockchain, potentially government, CBDCs, I don't know, carbon credits data, uh, everything, gaming, so on and so forth. That's a huge amount of data and a growing amount of users. So to make the most of it would be a good idea, and something that we're heavily looking into is either partnering with or potentially acquiring an AI technology startup where we could Parsi could feed that blockchain data to the AI algorithms to get deeper insights, for example, about users, about customers, like their behavior, their retention rate. Data is the new oil. It is the most valuable commodity in the world right now, and blockchain data will only grow. And applying AI to get more insights from it, valuable insights, just makes perfect sense. So this is what we will be pursuing.
Sticking with the data, I guess another question we have is just about decentralized versus centralized data. Someone's asked, is decentralized data overrated, and is it completely necessary?
Well, in my opinion, it's overrated because I mean, the data, blockchain data, is being sourced from the blockchain. So from the decentralized net, from a decentralized source. So the only question is like, do you trust the provider that the provider didn't change the data, didn't alter it, on the way and give you false data? And that is easily solvable using different techniques from like zk snarks or other things to make it provable that hey, data hasn't been tampered with. You can check. So I don't see the need to actually decentralize data in such a way. Now, if you're thinking about like transform data, so not strictly blockchain data, but if you take blockchain data, you combine it with some off-chain data, and you have a completely new data set that is not accessible from the blockchain directly, then maybe there is some point to it. But it's mostly for decentralization maximalists. So I'm okay with both approaches. Just most users, clients, companies, projects that we've talked to, they don't really need their data to be decentralized as long as they can periodically check that it hasn't been tampered with using these different technologies.
Okay, well said. I think some more questions about some products now. Got sort of a data lake double feature here. People are wondering how popular has the NFT data lake been?
Well, the NFT Data Lake has been extremely popular. It's definitely been probably the most popular data lake, and this is because if you're building an NFT marketplace, an NFT dashboard, an NFT game, metaverse project, anything. So what you need to do is you need to have the front end and if needed, the smart contracts, and everything in between is you plug in the data lake. That's it. Because you can get to your front end NFT data, the metadata, the traits, the properties, the actual image. So you don't have to do anything. You plug it in and that's it. It all is streaming to your front end, and that is your product. So it's an essential part of NFT products. It's the whole back end that sits between the smart contract layer and the front end.
Yeah, and I think as you mentioned in quarter one, we sort of expanded our NFT data lake to cover all the chains we support. So we're definitely going to be putting out more information on that on social, and with people being in NYC right now, there might be something a lot of people there will be interested in as well. Also on the roadmap, we have Uniswap, the V3 data lake. People in the community are wondering, is this something that Uniswap has asked for, or are we sort of doing this on our own?
So this is something we are doing on our own. With that being said, we have spoken to the Uniswap team about it with the members of the Uniswap team, and they are all for any tools that allow like third-party developers, users to utilize Uniswap data in a more efficient manner. So we are building it ourselves, but we would the Uniswap team is fully supportive of this.
Gotcha. Okay, I guess another roadmap question. People are just wondering if you could maybe go over or expand on the tokenomics. Like, right now we have a few things. Like we got staking, PRQ in IQ protocol. People are also eligible for IQT airdrop and Hypersea airdrop by doing that. So what's the can you just explain like some of the major changes that people will see? I know it's not all fully borne out yet, but what can you just maybe go over it one more time?
Yeah, so this is a complete overhaul of the tokenomics. So PARSIQ started back in 2018-19, and the tokenomics was very simple. You could pay using PRQ for PARSIQ software services at a discounted rate, And this is, it was quite basic at that time, very common use case for the token. Then we upgraded it. It was Tokenomics version 2.0. So this is what we call stake to use. So you don't have to pay for PARSIQ software for the data. You can stake or rent if you don't want to stake your PRQ tokens to get the access to the platform. And this while it kind of works, it's not the best use case for the token. So we're upgrading this further. And what we've come up with is the PR2 token's main usage will be within the open source kind of decentralized part of the PARSIQ network. This is where third-party developers build their own data lakes. They deploy and run them on the PARSIQ network, and they need PRQ tokens to do this. So there will be a burn mechanism. They have to, every time that data lake is being used by someone, by a premium user who pays for the usage, that means that the creator gets incentivized by earning revenue. And every time that the usage it's being used, PRQ is being used for it. So it's kind of a burn mechanism, similar to gas, but not quite. It will be essential and it will be tied to the growth of the public marketplace because to run your data lake, you need tokens. If it has a lot of usage, you need more tokens. And the idea is that supply would diminish over time while more and more developers continue building and demand will increase. A lot of these details are still being ironed out because there's a lot of complexities here to design it in a way that doesn't need another overhaul. So we hope to get it right the first time. We will be publishing more details, as each stage is being close to completion.
Yeah, I think I know, a bunch of people are working hard on that right now. So once we do some information for the community, we will share it. One of the questions that I think got brought up in our last sort of text AMA was about some of the market makers on exchanges, particularly on KuCoin. When do we expect our market maker to be back on KuCoin and some of the other exchanges?
Yeah, so after the FTX collapse, our market maker has stopped supporting a couple of exchanges. One of them is KuCoin at the moment. So they will be notifying when they resume operations there. If they don't, within a relatively short time frame, then because as I understand, a lot of community members, PARSIQ community members, they trade or hold or buy or sell PRQ tokens on KuCoin. So we will be exploring other market makers to support the KuCoin market.
I guess just a follow up to that, because decentralization and getting off centralized exchanges has been a topic this year. Make sure make sure you have your ledger, MetaMask, all this sort of stuff. So that's why we're seeing a lot of trading happening off of exchanges. Like, where do you see PARSIQ right now is available on ETH and BNB? Would you ever see a time where we expanded it further and bridged to another chain?
Yeah, it's definitely possible. I mean, you have ETH as the main chain. That's where the native PRQ token is. And we have BNB chain and the liquidity pool on PancakeSwap. So this allows for low fees. But I think it would be a good idea to also make it available on a layer 2 ETH. So perhaps Arbitrum.
All right. Okay. So I guess I think we're at the end of all of our questions that we collected previously. Marcelo, have you seen anything else come across during this Twitter Spaces?
I'm just checking right now. I do have one extra question. Let me just pull it up over here. Since more and more users are aware that their data is being used for analysis, because of that, some users have decided to do half their transactions in one wallet and the remaining transactions in another wallet, so that it makes it to trace their transactions on chain. What sort of products is PARSIQ building to solve this issue?
Right. So the use case, as I understood, is tracing and tracking of fund movements across different wallets, across different chains. Now, this is possible to do. We don't have a dedicated solution, to solve the specific use case, but Tsunami and the data lakes are applicable to this. So if you as a user are interested in tracing some funds and you know where to look, then you can. We have data lakes that will allow you to get data simultaneously from multiple chains or multiple sources. So this is something that can easily be set up by, let's say, technically advanced users if they know where to look.
Amazing. Thank you for that answer. I think that's all right now. I'm checking if there's any other questions. If anybody in the audience would like to ask any other questions, please drop them in our Discord or Telegram. But for the time being, I think that's everything, Casey.
Okay, yeah, thanks, Marcelo. Yeah, I guess like just to note, I guess during this month, yeah, as Tom mentioned, PARSIQ will be heading to Consensus. It's in Austin, Texas, at the end of April, and then early May we'll be heading to the AVEX Summit in Barcelona. So we'll be out there. If anybody wants to meet up in any of those cities, I guess Tom, I'll ask you open-ended questions. Do you have anything else that you wanted to bring up today?
I just want to thank everyone for tuning in. We'll try to do these spaces more often to explain more about what we're doing and answer more questions as we grow. And yeah, I want to thank the community for all the support and always welcome the community's feedback on everything we do. Thank you.
All right, and I guess just not to put you on the spot here, but if we were to switch up this AMA and you were to ask the community a question, what would you want to ask the community?
It's not so much a question as it is, let's say, it's a favor. So, like we are always open to constructive criticism, both good and bad. So if you look at our content, whether it's blog content, technical documentation, website, anything we do, so if something is not clear or could be done better, so yeah, please reach out and make your opinion known because we want to improve on all of this, and the community's feedback would be valuable.
Yeah, well said. We on our community team, we chat with our community members all the time inside of Telegram and Discord. So we do have lively conversations in there, and we do take it to heart. So yeah, and it certainly has made us produce better content and think about how we talk to people. So yeah, thanks to the community for tuning in today, and I guess yeah, thanks Marcelo for moderating, and Tom, really appreciate your time and great to hear your insights.
Yeah. Thank you, Casey. Thanks, Marcelo, and thanks to everyone who was tuning in. See you next time.
Thanks, everyone. See you on next AMA. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye now.
Let's talk PARSIQ.